kind of the core group for a while.
But
So
that
it's good.
helps because your first Olympic was probably like your second.
Yeah, and it was.
Or you must watch like the training. And
Yeah, you know what to expect, and yeah, just anytime you can compete in those big events, you learn a little bit more. So yeah.
And the stress and work out with the stress.
Yeah.
Is a bit different to the first one. You don't
Well,
know
and the
what
first
to
one
expect.
was home
Exactly.
games too in Vancouver, so that was even more, I think.
More stressful.
Well,
You enjoyed it.
yeah, it was cool. It was like I didn't notice. Didn't notice it was very stressful for any of them.
The first one, you're just happy to be
Yeah.
there. You're just happy to live the experience.
The second one was just frustrating result, but the experience wasn't. It was great, yeah. So, like it was a good. Just didn't have a good day. So the venue in Korea is really good. I think the course for us is really good. So we had a test event not this last season, the season before, and it's really good. So looks good for the team.
Is it somebody from, I'd say, US or Canada that worked out the course out there? Like who did?
It's a similar. There's a group of guys that kind of build all the courses on the World Cup. So they have like a pretty small group of people that they. It used to be anybody. Like
That's no good.
the venue could have anybody. Yeah, come and build, and so there wasn't much consistency. So now there's like a group of guys that one guy builds one track, one guy builds another, and then for the Olympics, I think that it's actually all of them kind of together. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And you can see it from the track that it's well built.
Yeah, it's really good.
A lot of experience.
Yeah, and then that they learned from that race, from the test event, and they have some ideas on how they can make it better. So I think it'll be really good.
It's always so interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I find that it's really like it's something of a show.
Yeah.
For us.
Well, anybody can relate, really. Like, you don't need to know much about skiing. It's just first one down wins and lots of action and always something going on. So it appeals to everybody, really. Yeah, last year was tough. It was, I came in probably better prepared than I ever have been and was skiing really well. And first race right away, I made the final and was looking at, I finished the heat in second, but under review, there was one feature where I kind of landed inside close to the gate and they determined that I straddled it. So I got relegated to fourth place. So that was kind of the first, that was kind of frustrating. The next day I got taken out the first round, and then a couple races later, the guy crashed in front of me and I couldn't avoid him. So I got caught up in it and I broke a rib and missed a few more races. Then I came back and was skiing well, and then had the hard landing on it wasn't like nothing really out of the ordinary, but something in my knee. Just I knew something wasn't right. Yeah, that was in Sweden. But kind of figured, I thought I could manage, and I was still skiing well and skiing fast, so just kind of buckled down and managed to get on the podium in Blue Mountain with my teammate Brady, so that kind of like really helped with the Olympic selection and kind of salvaged a little bit of a season. But it was more just one of those years where everything that could go wrong did. So hopefully that's all out of the way. I'm looking forward to kind of approaching the season the same. I was in a really good spot last year, and there wasn't much I had to change, so just had to get fixed, and now knee feels really good. So I feel like I'm in a really good spot. So we'll see.
How are you working out for training for the competition? The selection will be done, or is it already done?
Now selection goes right up until the last World Cup, right before the Olympics, which is actually in Nikiska in Alberta. So we have 6 races in December, and then we have 2 more before the selection. So there's a lot of racing left, and we have a really strong team. So right now I've kind of made the minimum requirement for the spots for our team. I have to follow it up with a couple good results, and it should be in there. So I haven't changed the prep, kind of going through the same motions that I think I was really ready last year and just didn't go my way. So do more of the same.
Is it your third Olympic?
This will be the third.
The third Olympic.
Third Olympic, so third time's a charm, hopefully. I had a pretty good showing in Vancouver. I made the final. Was trying for a pass in the final and didn't work out. Ended up fourth, but that's just how I race. So Russia wasn't quite as good. It was tough conditions. Like the snow was really warm and wasn't quite ready for the changes that between seeding and racing. The track got really slow and it changed a lot of how the whole course skied really, and was just off right from the get-go in my first round. And but that's all behind. So I kind of know, and I know what to expect with the course in Korea. We were there a couple of years ago, and it looks really good. It's usually the Olympic tracks are bigger, big jumps, which suits me really well. So.
Do you have similar of a track like the Olympics to tour? Is there any similar tracks?
A lot of the World Cup tracks are getting bigger now. Sweden is a good one. They build a really good track. Austria early in the year in Montafon is always fun. It has banks and kind of similar stuff. So I like every track. It's all because they're all different and have their little things. And now it's getting to the point where every track has a certain level of quality. So they're all pretty good. You don't have to. In previous years, we've had tough time. Like you show up and it's like kind of a joke. But now everything's at a much higher level. So it's been really cool the last couple of years to see what they've done with the builders, and it's been fun to be a part of. I think for me the thrill is it's just head to head. You know, it's first one down wins. I grew up racing Alpine, so I have that kind of skill set where you're against the clock, and you need that for the qualification runs to be able to get into the race. You need to be able to ski fast, just you against the clock. But then once you're in the heats, it's a whole different ball game. There's there's a lot of tactics involved. When you look at it from the outside, it might look like it's just kind of chaos going on, but there's definitely a lot of passing and drafting, and there's a lot of thought that goes into each round, and you have to be ready for anything. So it's just being able to kind of adapt and react as the race happens. You learn everybody's like how they ski or what their tendencies are, so you get to know everybody pretty well, and it's fun.
And the risk of injuries, is it more or less?
I don't think it's any more. We've been, I think, pretty lucky. Like, I think when people come newer to the sport, it takes some time to figure out like what you can do and what you can't. But those who have been around for a while, I don't think there's any more injury than there is in the Alpine side. It just looks like there has to be because because there's so much going on. It's like, oh, that's crazy, but it's kind of organized chaos.
Well, the start is very important for the cross, right?
Yeah, definitely. If you can get the whole shot, you can control the race a bit. But it's not everything. Like there's a lot that you can make happen down on course if you need to. So I don't put as much emphasis as some people on the start because I think it can kind of get you in a mindset where if you don't win the start, then you're kind of so I just kind of focus on having a good pull and getting out smooth through the first couple features and then settle in and see where I'm at and then go from there. So kind of I'm a little more laid back to my approach.
We're all set.
You're all good?